Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So, in this video, what I want to talk about is how to trade indexes, all right? Now, if you don't know, an index is basically just an entity, an asset that holds and houses multiple stocks, okay? It tracks those. So, we have my index of choice is the IWM, right? It is an index of ETF, and it tracks and it holds small cap stocks. All right, the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the stock market. All right, and there are a lot bigger companies as well. You have things like NEE that track energy. Then you have like IBIT, which tracks crypto, stuff like that, right? So I personally think that everyone should have an index of choice. Now, you don't have to love IWM. You could go love something else. That's perfectly fine. But what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks on how to best and most efficiently trade indexes. All right. So be sure to like this video and also subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. Okay. So first things first, when you're trading an index, I want you to understand that an index tracks and follows the market. So it's going to be going up and it's going to be going down. All right. Sounds basic, but I have to say it because we got to start from as if we all know nothing, right? So we could all be going to the same place. So it tracks whoever it's holding, that's who it tracks. So for example, SPY, right? When you're trading an index, you want to know who makes this index or ETF, who weighs the most in it. Okay, so with SPY, we got Nvidia, we got Apple, we got Microsoft, okay, we got Meta, and Google, and Amazon. So you want to always be paying attention to those stocks. We have 493 other stocks, but you want to be paying attention to those stocks consistently, right? Because if those hold the most weight in that index, if those are doing well and you want to trade the SPY, then there's a good chance that the SPY is going to be doing well. It's going to be going up also. This is why when they're talking about we're in a tech bubble, people get nervous and they get scared. Because if we're in a tech bubble and tech stocks are getting ready to come down, then that also means that the SPY is going to start coming down because those stocks are weighted the most, right? So when you are thinking about it, what index you're trading, you want to ask yourself who holds the most weight in this index, this ETF. All right. That's the first thing. Make sure you know who the index is holding, what they're tracking. Okay. Next, understand that the market fluctuates. The indexes fluctuate. Okay. Individual stocks can trend, and so can an index, but they are going to fluctuate because they're fluctuating based on the market and all of the stocks that they're holding. Okay, so they are a lot more volatile. All right, they're a lot more volatile. That's something else to know and to understand. The next thing is sometimes it's not the best day to trade the indexes. Okay, depending on are they consolidating or not, right? The next thing to know is how sensitive indexes are to news, okay? Stocks are sensitive to news as well, but indexes are extremely sensitive to news. And one of the reasons is because if I am trading, let's say I want to trade IWM, right? IWM is a small cap ETF. So you got stocks like RGTI, QUBT, right? QBTS, okay? If I know that there's news coming out about quantum computing stocks, and let's say there's 5 quantum computing stocks that hold a big weight with IWM, I'm going to pay attention to that news in a different way, because it's not just one stock, it's multiple, right? So news is very powerful for indexes, okay? If something comes out about energy, right, or let's say crypto, and I'm looking at IBIT, I know that IBIT, right, is crypto. It's an index. Therefore, I'm going to be paying attention to that, because that piece of news can make all the individual stocks go crazy in one direction, up or down. And that also means that this index will go crazy as well, because it's tracking all of those individual stocks, right? So understand how news plays a factor in relevance to the indexes that you are trading. Very, very, very important. Okay? So when you're trading, don't just be thinking like, okay, I'm going to just get in this trade and that's it. No, you want to make sure you understand the stocks that are being held by this ETF, right? And you want to know what their weighting is, right? What their weight is, how much do they influence the ETF, okay? You also want to know the data release dates as well, whether it's the beginning of the market open, after market close, a certain day, right? All of that. Because let's say you want to take a trade at 7 a.m. and you're about to get into a call to the upside, right? Okay. But at 7 a.m., some news comes out that is about your index, or the stocks that are inside of your index, that makes it go down. But you didn't know that there was news coming out about this particular, sector, but your ETF tracks that sector. Now you're getting into calls, but you don't know that there's news coming out about this, and it's bad news, and that makes the stock go down. Now you in calls, but it's going down, but you didn't know, right? So you want to make sure that you know and you're aware of when news and or economic data is being reported and released, so that way you know how to trade this ETF or how to trade this index, right? Make sure that you're paying attention to detail. So we're not even talking about technical analysis. We're talking about the understanding on how to approach indexes, right? Because a lot of times when we're trading, we always think that it's only about the charts, and it's not. It's about the approach. It's about the strategy. It's about the understanding, right? So please, please, please make sure you guys understand that it's not just about the charts. It's about you understanding how to even approach this thing, right? Because if you say, okay, I'm gonna only trade the indexes when there's news or when the market is blasting off, that's gonna make it easy for you to make more money with the indexes, okay? Next couple of things that I have for you. When you're trading an index, usually you have an option titled zero data expiration, right? So let me break this down for you. Indexes are very liquid, okay? When you're looking to trade indexes, you have something called your ask and your bid. Usually it's very close, within 1 cent. What this means is you can enter in a trade at market, right? You can enter in a trade at market, and you're not going to be down bad because the spreads are not going to be wide. If some individual stocks, like if you trade, I always use an example of Spotify. If you want to trade Spotify, it's going to be a couple $100 difference between the ask and the bid, right? That's not a liquid contract. Not a lot of people are trading that. But a lot of people are trading the SPY every day, the IWM every day, because these are indexes and they're tracking the top 500 companies. They're tracking 2,000 companies that are small caps, right? So that's something else to know and understand, right? Index contracts are very liquid. It's easy to get in and to get out. Now, what that also means is they have an option to do 0 data expirations, which means that today the contract is going to expire by the end of the day. What does this mean? This means that if you do not know what you're doing, you will get cooked, right? Therefore, if you're not fully ready, maybe do that week's expiration, or you can do 1 to 2 days out, right? Expiration. Until you really feel confident, you can do 0 data expiration. Now, 0 data expirations, you can make a lot of money very fast, but you can also lose a lot of money very fast, right? So if you are doing 0 day to expirations on any index, here's what I will say. Because it moves so much faster, you don't have to put a lot of money up. So if you're going to trade an index and you're going to trade 0 data expirations, what I would say is if your average size getting into a trade is, let's just say, $1,000, if you're doing 0 day to expiration, I would most likely probably do between $300 and about $400, maybe $500 in that trade on 0 data expirations instead, right? Because let's say that you put up $1,000, you make 20% and you make $200, right? Okay. Now, if you put up $400, you can make 50% in a very small move, and you can still make the same amount of money that 20% off of the $1,000 in that trade would have made, and you really can make more, right? So 0 data expirations, you don't have to put up a lot of money to make a lot of money, right? So make sure the approach is proper when we're talking about trading indexes and ETFs, right? This is one reason why I love 0 days trading IWM. The risk is minimal when you know how to manage your risk compared to the result of what you could be making per trade, okay? When I started trading IWM and understanding how it really moved and how to really trade it, I'm smacking 40, 50, 60% trades consistently, okay? Now, I mentioned this earlier. Indexes are very, very, very volatile, okay? So when we are trading indexes, one thing that I would also recommend is you make sure that you are utilizing your shorter time frames for entries, okay? Trust the levels, but because they're so volatile, they're going to be going up and they're going to be going down, right? Because once again, they're fluctuating with the market, right? They're fluctuating with the holdings that ETF, that index holds, right? So if you see that a stock broke above resistance, okay, and then it closed right up above the candle closure, and then you see it come down, and you're on the 15 or the 30-minute time frame, what I would personally do is I would go down to the 5-minute or even maybe the 3-minute time frame when it's coming down, and I would see when it's going to start going back up, and that's how I would take my entry, okay? Because these indexes are very volatile, because they fluctuate with the market, I personally would utilize smaller time frames for entries, right? That's the key, for entries, because indexes are always going to pull back. They're always going to pull back. When they pull back in an uptrend, that is a perfect way to enter in the trade, and then you could capitalize on that. Okay? So make sure that you utilize the smaller time frame to take entry. What do I always say? Bigger time frames gives you direction. Smaller time frames gives you precision. The smaller time frames are going to help you with your entries. Okay. Now, these are all very important things to keep in mind and to remember. All right. You can make a lot of money trading indexes. My index of choice is IWM. Okay. So if you want to trade with us and trade IWM and become a master at IWM, be sure to click the link in the description and come trade with us. Come join the Prosperity Collective. All right. I hope that this video helped you guys out, and I hope that it gave you the insight that you need to be able to do these things efficiently and actually make money and not get cooked in the market every day. All right. So like I always say, make sure you get up out your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to see you guys on tomorrow's video. Y'all all stay smooth, man. Peace.